What's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jen and this is Valley Buzzsaw. In today's video, I'm using cardboard to create a 3D winter scene. This is going to be a two-part series because I grossly underestimated the time it takes to cut cardboard. But I'm new to the world of cardboard crafts, so I hope to learn more every time I try a new project. Speaking of, if you like DIY projects, DIY home improvement and cleaning motivation, then go ahead and subscribe down below. I post on Fridays and some Sundays. Since I'm new to all this, I drew my idea onto a stack of scrap paper first. I went through the different elements to make sure my stacking order would work right, and made notes for myself along the way. I measured an upcycled box and figured out the size that I could use for my piece. I love that I get to use stuff I'd otherwise just toss in the recycle bin, so material costs are pretty low. Speaking of materials, I'll link to everything I'm using today in the description below. When you use my affiliate links, I make a little, but you don't spend more. That helps me to keep making videos, and I really appreciate your support. I used the box itself as my true edge, then used a metal ruler to measure out the first 3 squares at 6 inches by 6 inches each.
The brown boxes in the living room, my life is in a never-ending state of that old transition. I got them piled up high in the corner of the kitchen, and I'm itching just to find a little bit of unpacked nutrition. All this crap I've accumulated, and I've waited for a place that's big enough to fit it into. Onward, upward, running with a new herd. Too small, you all gotta get it transferred. Packing and I'm stacking and I'm making all my crap fit. Gotta shove it all into the brown boxes.
If you guys watched my cardboard cottage series, then you know I needed these desperately. I'll link to episode 1 of that two-parter down in the description and at the end of this video if you want to check it out. In that project, the cardboard was thinner and easier to get through than this stuff. But once I got a new blade on, this corrugated cardboard cut without much trouble. I needed 22 squares for the piece, plus my 3 template squares. I sized up the stack to make sure everything was pretty close to even. Things looked good, so I started with the backing piece and penciled in a frame. After I had the frame in place, I could get a feel for placement of each element that I planned to add. Now, I kinda messed up here in how I decided to cut everything, but I'll talk more about that in part 2, so don't forget to subscribe. With the frame measurement in hand, I got started on placing the first element, the moon. I grabbed my circle template to get a perfect circle. I transferred all measurements to the 2 moon blanks and then got cutting. Binder clips held the 2 pieces together and I poked through to the back. I'll warn ya, corrugated cardboard wears out X-ACTO blades fast. With so many layers, this took a while. In fact, to cut out every teeny bit took me a total of 6.5 hours. Like I said, grossly underestimated my time investment. But what the heck else was I doing anyway, right? By that point, I was feeling confident and moved on to the mountains. First, I lined up the placement of the moon because I wanted the mountain peak to slightly cover the bottom of the moon. Then I just went for it. I drew a rough range of mountains and started cutting. My plan was to have the center mountain in front with 5 thicknesses, but cut the side mountains back to 3 thicknesses so they'd fade back more. This took a while, but I eventually peeled out the last nugget of cardboard. I stacked things to make sure my vision was coming to light. So far, so good. Some of the layers have small additions, but none were as tiny or time-consuming to cut than my background trees. I breezed through the layers with just land though, and thankfully I had 8 of those in total. The big tree didn't take too long, but I was extra careful not to cut off the ends of any branches. My final foreground flourish would be a deer. I know this is rudimentary and kinda cartoonish, but you know, so am I, so it fits. This took a lot of precision on corrugated cardboard. I used the X-ACTO and scissors here. I finally made it to cutting the frames, and by that point, my index finger kind of felt like it might fall off. But I persevered and cut out both frame layers in the same way. With all my pieces cut, it was time to start reinforcing each layer with some Mod Podge and water. I use about a 2-to-1 ratio of Podge to water. I grabbed a stack of ripped paper that I prepared off camera. Then I got to the equally lengthy task of decoupaging each layer of this art piece. Not gonna lie, by this point I was questioning my sanity. But it wouldn't be me if I didn't try for the most layers ever known to man on my first attempt at 3D cardboard art. And that, my friends, is where I'm going to leave you this time. Like I said, grossly underestimated how long it would take to complete this cardboard craft, especially the cutting, but decoupaging is coming up right behind it on my yikes meter. I'm excited to wrap up this cardboard 3D winter scene next week though, so subscribe. Then do all the things to get notifications so you'll be here for the fun time party. If you're still here watching, leave me some encouragement down below to finish strong with this thing. Then stop by somebody else's comment and say hello. Our community is growing and it's so fun getting to know each other. Thanks so much for watching. Later, peeps!